After setting up eQuas programs, you can add tests, configure them, or even delete a few tests. You can add tests as a group or individually. Tests are added as a group when there are multiple tests performed by a single instrument. To add tests as a group, you use the Setup by Instrument feature. This feature creates tests with all the information based on the most commonly reported analyte for the instrument you selected. To use the Setup by Instrument feature, select Test Setup from the Configure menu. Select the appropriate lab ID from the Lab ID list. Select the program to which you want to add tests from the Program Name list. By default, only the current cycle for the program appears in the list. If you are currently participating in a Bio-Rad eQuas program, as soon as you select a program from the list, the corresponding list of analytes and instruments are displayed on the right-hand side of the screen, along with options to edit and delete them. Next, select the sample to which you want to add tests from the From Sample list. By default, Sample 1 is selected because tests are usually added at the beginning of the cycle to all samples in a cycle. However, to add a test during a cycle, select the appropriate sample from the From Sample list so that the test can be added starting from that sample. Next, click the Setup by Instrument button. On the Instrument Setup page that opens, select the required instrument from the Instrument list. All instruments available for the selected program are listed on this page. Notice that as soon as you select an instrument, the corresponding list of analytes, methods, and units for the selected instrument and program are displayed on the page. You can add the required analytes by selecting the corresponding check boxes. Some analytes might have more than one method or unit available. If the analyte, method, and unit combination is found in duplicate, it indicates that different reagents are configured for each. To find the reagent used, hover over the analyte. By default, the CU option for unit is selected. If your lab uses International System of Units, select SI. Ensure that you select the appropriate method and unit combination for every analyte you want to add. If the unit you require is missing, you can add the suggested unit and update it later using the individual analyte setup. Finally, click the Save button to save the setup. You can also add tests individually. To add a single test, select Test Setup from the Configure menu. Ensure that the appropriate lab ID is selected from the Lab ID list. Select the program to which you want to add the test from the Program Name list. Next, select the sample to which you want to add tests from the From Sample list. By default, Sample 1 is selected because tests are usually added at the beginning of the cycle to all samples in a cycle. However, to add a test during a cycle, select the appropriate sample from the From Sample list so that the test can be added starting from that sample. Then, select an analyte from the Analyte list. Next, select an instrument by using the instrument list or the instrument lookup icon next to the list. Next, select a reagent by using the reagent list or the reagent lookup icon next to the list. For instruments and reagents that are manufactured by the same manufacturers, dedicated reagent is the default selection. Then, select a method from the method list. Select the appropriate unit from the unit list. Finally, click the Add button to add this test to the current and all future samples. Sometimes, you might need to make some changes to an existing test or rectify erroneously entered test details. In eQuas Online, you can edit any parameter of a test even if results have already been entered. To start editing a test, select Test Setup from the Configure menu. Ensure that the appropriate lab number is selected from the Lab ID list. Select the appropriate program from the Program Name list. Select the appropriate sample from the From Sample list. By default, Sample 1 is selected because edits to tests should usually be added at the beginning of the cycle to all samples in a cycle. However, to edit a test during a cycle, select the appropriate sample from the From Sample list so that the edits to tests are applied starting from that sample. Click the Edit icon next to the test you want to edit. Notice that as soon as you select a test, the corresponding details are populated on the Test Setup page. Edit the analyte, instrument, reagent, method, or unit information. Finally, click the Update button. eQuas Online also enables you to delete tests. To delete a test, select Test Setup from the Configure menu. Ensure that the appropriate lab number is selected from the Lab ID list. Select the appropriate program from the Program Name list. Ensure that the appropriate sample is selected in the From Sample list. If you retain the default selection of Sample 1, the test for all samples and results will be lost. Selecting the appropriate sample from the list ensures that the previous results will remain in the program and the reports. Click the Delete icon next to the test you want to remove. As soon as you click the icon, a message box warning you that this action will delete all results and configuration in eQuas Online and from eQuas reports is displayed. The message box prompts you to confirm the deletion of the test. Click the OK button to confirm.